guys, we are here in Unit 7, the critic paper. In Lesson 3, writing a critic paper. So, how to write a critic paper and what critic paper means. So, from the word itself, critic paper means summarizing and judge the book, journal, article, and artwork, or among other sources. Basically, these include a critical evaluation of the item under reflection. So, in this case, dapat jud na i-follow na tong academic writing style and in mga section like the introduction, body, and conclusion. So, objectives. In this lesson, you should be able to do the following. Understand the principles of writing, effective reviews and critics, write a critic paper on a work of art, write a critic paper on an event or program. So, get questions. So, writing an effective critic. You know the features and structures of critic paper. You should always be familiar with the different critical approaches. Now, here are some things to remember before you try writing a wall critic. So, before you na maghimo tag effective na critic paper, dapat kabalo dito sa mga features and structures kung unsaon siya para makabuhat tag effective na critic paper. So, first, we have here approaching a work. If your particular goal for your critics to help improve a person's writing or to guide others in choosing which articles to read or avoid, then there are some things you must keep in mind as you begin to read someone's work. So if magbasa ta sa lain na book, so we must know kung unsa ato ang basahon, kung unsa atong kailangan i-avoid. So first, be genuine, maging makatotoo or sincere or authentic. Because if you're genuine in your intention to help, you have good intentions in mind for your readers. Tama. Kung maging tunay ka, it means na you good intentions sa imong mga readers when you write your criticism. So be careful to strike a balance between being so nice that you only say positive things and being so harsh that you only point out the negatives of the work. So i-balance yun mo siya. Pwede siya nga. No, ulan sa nimo ang positive nimo nga isulat. The next na po is negative. Pwede po negative. Tapos positive, pero dapat balance imong pagtanaw sa ila. Dili kay iingon lang nimo kung unsaan ka ng negative sa work or unsa lang jud ang unsa lang pud ang positive sa work. Dapat jud balance siya. Keep in mind your goal to help improve the person's writing or to properly assess a work for the benefit of others. A balanced and biased critic is more helpful than an overly nice or harsh one. So dapat jud dili dapat ka nagabias sa mga dapat wala jud bias. Dapat mag-treat jud equal kung gusto nimo makatabang. In relation to harshness, you should avoid being brutal in your critics. Being honest and being brutal are not the same thing. Yes, not the same thing because being honest is makatabang jud siya pag magiging brutal ka. In intention nimo is dili na makatabang sa imong mga readers. So it is important that you can express hard truths without being rude or malicious about them. So, as I've said kaganina, dapat jud na be genuine or be sincere or authentic ka. So, your criticism will likely be taken more seriously by readers and other authors if it is clear that the goal of your critic is to help them and not to be mean. Yes, imong goal is kanang makatabang na sa reader para mag-enhance sila. So, third one is, do not be timid or mahiyain or matatakotin. Either praise and criticism are equally important, and both must be given when they're due. Holding out on criticism to avoid hurting feelings of others do not do them any favors. So, dapat yun, mag-treat ka equally. Dili kay kani siya, kay kuan, ingani lang siya, tapos alay na po, kay ganahan kuan na, yung kanang tawag ni magbias ka. It is often necessary to give your honest comments about another person's work, even if it is not praise, as this will help him or her improve on his or her work. Be sure not to hold out in your criticism. So dili kay kanang kani kay friend na ko siya, kailangan kay mga positive ang ginaingon sa iya ha. Then sa other one, yung makaila sa iya, imo lang ingon na kana siya kay kanang mag-criticize ka dayon ba. So dapat jud magatag honest comments. Is don't be too timid or mahiyain or natatakot. Praise and criticism are equally important and both must be given when they're due. Holding out on criticism to avoid hurting the feelings of others does not do them any favors. So dapat di ka magpabor-pabor, walay bias na may tabo or treat them equally. Kung unsay ka nang pananaw nimo sa book, you must comment equally. Dili kay kani siya kay ganahan ako, kani siya kay kuanan ako og mga positive, then kato siya kay wala mo kakuan. mong ginhatag nimo siya mga negative, dapat equal dapat ka mag-treat. It is often necessary to give your honest comments about another person's work, even if it is not praise, as this will help him or her improve on his or her work. Be sure not to hold him out on your criticism. So once na ka ng pag-iinan, jud mga tao na, ay nindot siya, di ba mas naga-improve sila, mas kung napay ibang tao na pag ginainan mo siya mga negative, mas na-improve sila, pero lahi-lahi yun ang mga pananaw sa ibang tao. So, this is not to say that the giving praise is not as important. Readers, of course, should also know what the strengths of a work are so that they know what they good can expect from it. Meanwhile, authors also need encouragement when they are able to do something right. Yes, pag magsulat ka, dapat yun nag-encourage sa imo para mas ganahan ka sa imong ginasulat. It keeps them motivated to improve their craft, plus it serves as a guide on what they should repeat in their next works, as they have already done it successfully before. So if magkamali, for example, di ba pag magkamali ta, kaya ato man ang usabon, murag ka nang gina-improve na to pa para matama. So tips, don't be afraid to give genuine praise where it is due. Also, even when it is difficult, continue to find something that you can praise from a work that may need a lot of work. Genuine praise shows that you still have the creator's best interest in mind, especially if you had a lot of hard words to say. So, genre and intended audience. It is important when writing a critic to be aware of what the original work's genre and intended audience are. Yes, dapat yun na makabalo ka kung sa imong mga audience. Kung intended ba siya sa audience, nakana na genre or dili. Kung sa ang dapat na i-avoid para makabalo ka. Before we judge the work of the original creator and their methods, it is best to be aware, or at least have an idea of what kind of work it is, or what genre it is in, as well as its intended audience. So, before jud ka na magsulat og kuan critic, you must know kung unsa siya na genre, ug kanang intended ba siya sa audience or dili. So, which techniques work, and which ones do not depend on the genre and intended audience of the author. So, tan-awon po nimo kung unsa na technique ang dapat o unsa ang mga genre na dili intended sa mga audience. For example, the author uses casual language in their work. If the work is a personal essay or modern short story, then you could praise this your own diction. So, however, if they use casual language in a formal academic paper, then perhaps you should point out that it is ineffective for its purpose. So, when we say casual language, diba, an irregular na language. So, dili siya pwede sa formal na academic paper. So that mapoint out nato na dili siya effective. So, it is ineffective for its purpose. So, if the work contains a lot of technical jargon, then it should be praiseworthy if it relates well to their intended audience. So if maka-relate yun ang mga audience, so it means kapuri-puri or deserve yun siya nga Tagalog approval. If complex technical jargon is used in a textbook intended for children, then this should be pointed out in your critic. So, next is critiquing work of art. Critiquing pictures, paintings, and other work of art can be tricky. Yes, kasi nga dagan kay malibog jud ka kung unsaon nimo pagkabalo, so ang pagsihas sa pag mag-judge ka sa picture. After all, it's not exactly the same as critiquing written works. However, it can be followed the same format and features as any other critic. So, in critiquing written works, so lahi ra jud siya kaysa sa mag-critiquing sa work of art, kasi nga daghan kayo og kuan, lagin kig lahi na mga things na kailangan nimo kuanon. But pero nandiyan tay gamito na format and features. Kapareho jud sa lahi na critic. So, first is the description. First, you have to describe the work of art in question. So, may mga question na kailangan nimo tubagon before ka mag-critic sa isa ka work. So, this is similar to summarizing a written work before critiquing it. Here are some questions that you can answer in order to describe a work of art. What is the name of the artwork? When was it made? And who is the creator? What medium did the artist use for artwork? So, before you come mag-critiquing sa work of art, so you must know sa description niya para dali ra nimo siya makuanan. Mag-critic. So, what color, shapes, textures, etc. did the artist use? So, here, may example. For example, this painting is titled The Night of the Moon by Yori B. And it was painted on March 28, 2020. It was made using oil-based paints and consists mostly of black, white, gray, and shades of blue. It depicts the mountains using rougher lines and edges and uses softer lines and smoother edges to show the clouds and the mist. The moon is portrayed clearly in the sky, and the focal point of the painting is the silhouette of kind holding a banner high and standing at the edge of a cliff. So, as I read this one, is description is straightforward and answer the questions listed above. So it gives the names of the painter, so C, Yori B, and the artwork as well as the date it was made. So complete details jud siya na jud siya mga details kung kinsa naghimo, unsa yang mga gigamit, unsa yang mga artwork na unsa yang mga gigamit siyang artwork. Then, don't worry if you cannot find the date of the work of art was made. This is not always readable available. It then provides a short description of the techniques, color, shapes, and others. So, dili tanan na sample sa artwork is na ay mga date kay depende kung available ba siya or dili. Kung available siya, imo siyang i-appeal, pero pag dili, pwede ra pod na short description of techniques, color, shapes, and others can be seen in the painting. So, analysis. The next step in writing the critic is to evaluate the elements of the painting mentioned in the description and how they connect to each other. Here are some sample questions you can answer in order to form your analysis. So, analyze. So, here are the questions. Do the points complement each other? Do they create harmony or distress? How are the principles of art applied in the painting? So, first is the balance. Is the artwork symmetrical in the elements found on one side are also found on the other? Or it is asymmetrical, in which the work is balanced with contrasting elements on the other side, or thus it makes use of radial symmetry where elements are spaced equally around the central point. Balance, kung balance pa sila or dili, kung balance pa ilang contrasting elements on the other side, then second is the contrast. How does the artwork make use of positive and negative space? Are the colors used complementary to each other? So, contrast. So, sa artwork, mabasa yan sa nimo kung ginapatid medyo is positive and negative. Kung use complementary to each other. And then third is emphasis. Did the artist create any area that commands the viewer's attention? How is it effective? So, question jud na to siya, no? Kung effective ba ang artwork sa yung mga viewers or dili. So, fourth is movement. How does the artwork simulate movement? Is it effective? Unity or variety are the elements of the painting too unified, which creates monotony, or are they too varied, which creates chaos? How does the painting strike the balance between two, if it does?